Is your table? Yeah, it is.
Oh my God.
That's great.
Many other things.
Thanks all down. Yeah. Okay. I get you.
Trust me, I know what it's like.
Yeah, you gotta be every.
Did a lot of that last
Yeah, I bet.
year. And now we're in a place that we leave it up. We have all of our own stuff.
Yeah. All right. Oh, it's probably pretty obvious, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yes, like Stevens.
All right. You know what? You should put up. Yeah.
Hey. You.
There we go.
No, it's coming and speaking. And I have a whole next week special Olympics. I'm super excited. So thank you for that correction. Yeah, I stopped by. It's all good. I'm like, I hope he wants to do that because that's hot. And we were like. Wow. And I've never been in, but I'm excited to have that chat. I'm gonna get out. Ready?
And yeah.
All right, that's all right. All right, so. You can sit here, you know, I don't see anybody on yet, so I actually would not have to worry about the speaker. If somebody was on and they're trying to say something, then tell them. Hey, James. All right, thank you. Now, as soon as we get it. Yeah. Put it back. Okay. Okay, shall we do it? Kill the music. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
This you? That's cool.
All right, good morning, everybody. You'll join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which is one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Vanna. And if you'll join me in the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First,
Is
The
it
truth.
second,
Is it
The
big?
all concerned.
third,
Relationships.
fourth,
Special to all concerned.
fifth.
Is it?
Just stay there. No, you're good. Thank you.
Found something for you. All right, Eileen.
Yes,
It's
I'm totally covered now. This is one of my favorite books of all time. It is not critical, not the man who points out how the strong men's young or where they were and what he could have done. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena. Those who face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strive by valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end of the trial of patience, and who at the worst he fails, at least he fails above very greatly, so that this place shall never be with the full intimidable, who neither no victory nor I know it's long, but it's my favorites.
That's a good one. Thank you. I would like to introduce our guest today, Tammy Dunn, and she is with the Snohomish County Sports Commission, and she will be our speaker today. Past president, Rotary Club Everett. And she's used to the chaos of setup. It can be pretty chaotic sometimes, but thanks to help from lots of people around here, I think we're set up and ready to go. Okay, we don't have any birthdays or anniversaries to really announce this time, but we do have a couple Rotary anniversaries. One is Mr. Chris Smith, exactly 1 year ago. And Steve Alexander. Yeah, okay. He's also, he was on the 22nd, so he's a few days to come still. Okay, we got some announcements. A lot going on over the last week. We had a couple meetings and been putting a few things together. Probably the biggest one is we decided to move Corks and Kegs to November 4th. And that is giving us an extra month, obviously, to set up a lot of stuff. And I think the biggest motivation, well, there's two big motivations. One is we do it right. And two, we want to make sure we have the time it takes to basically sell tickets to the event. We want to have it attended well, and that actually that's where the time comes in real handy, because it just takes time to get the message out through social media, for us to get the message out ourselves to people we know. So we need to start working on that. We are still working on the venue because of the new date. It opens up some possibilities, and to that end, I'm happy to report we've got a committee of people who have agreed to work together on the planning aspect of it and help Ron. And Eileen is certainly one of them. She is our chair for club services, but this fits right in her role there. And then Tracy, you've also volunteered, and Rachel has volunteered. And Miguel, okay, we got 4 volunteers. But the key right now is going to be to hurry to pick the venue and confirm the dates, and then we'll be getting more information out to everybody. It should be a lot of fun. Another announcement that I think most people know about. I think I may even mention it before, but the Liz Ride is going to be on September 16th. As of now, we have 14 people going, so it's going to be fun. And as far as I know, everybody's writing. But the offer is still out there for people that want to drive on the island. That's an option too, because a big part of the event is actually the hikes, or I'll call them walks. There's no strenuous hikes involved, but there's some very beautiful walks on that.
What's the day on it?
The 16th of September. It's a Saturday.
Maybe I go all day.
Your voting day.
Which bay? Oh, that would be so cool. Yeah.
You have a meeting as you go.
You go for it.
There.
You should don't really bring us ferry. Any sense of how early bring us ferry to head out there?
Oh, yeah, there's really only one ferry you're going to catch, and I think it was like no, there was like a 10 something. Yeah, I don't think we would be able to get everybody together for an 8 o'clock. It means getting out of here at 6 something. Yeah. And actually, with reservations, we do want to have at least one vehicle on the island, but now that we got a boat in the harbor, not only do we have a vehicle, but we can all stay on the boat overnight at last ferry and poke it down. And okay, and the other decision that I think we made at Gary, correct me if I'm wrong, but have moved that we will do the plaque, the fish plaque, or the fish at the mill that we talked about. And also we're going to do a plaque with Rotary Or, well, Gary, I'll let you kind of talk about that. There's a little more detail on what the plaque is saying.
Well, it'll be your Rotary destination, but we're spending $5,000. 3,000 will be kind of the big fish, and it will have a Rotary name on it. There'll be another surprise that we will announce about the name.
Okay.
That we will announce later on. And then 2,000 we're going to go for. Let Jim know, follow up with a letter to the Arts and Parks to let them know that we're committed to doing $5. And I know some others are thinking of doing something. Grant is buying some for his 4 grandkids. And I think I heard one other was doing that as well. So this is kind of the new public meetings that we're trying to put in through Rent's committee. And as you recall, we are no longer Rotary Club of Lake Stevens. We are Lake Stevens Rotary. Period. That's it.
That's the informal name that we expect to use all the time. For legal purposes, I guess, we aren't going to change the legal name for the 501c3 and all that kind of stuff, but when we blurt it out, Lake Stevens Rotary, we don't need a club, we don't need anything like that. Makes it super easy, and part of the reason is that's kind of what people want to say. If they don't want to have a long word, we are the Rotary Club of Lake Stevens, it's not elevated enough, so.
What this is it an art installation?
Yeah, there's a low wall. Are you talking about the fish? There's a low wall where the little splash pads are. There's a low wall that runs along that. And they're going to be putting a mural on one side. And on the other side, they're going to have what looks like a school of fish swimming along that wall. And each fish will have a name on it. So it's like you see it with bricks or, that type of thing, but you can buy a fish is what it boils down to. All the money is going to the arts and parks, other than a modest cost for the fish, of course, but it's very much supporting our community, the money that we're putting for us. So we feel pretty good about that. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm saying that other than, arts and parks will have to pay for the fish, the physical fish, but almost all of it is basically donation.
What's the cost of it?
Gary mentioned that we need to send a letter. And we're excited to announce that we have formalized our logo, and I don't have a sample of it here, but it's a simplified rotary wheel. It's basically that wheel, but without any letters inside of it. And it just says Lake Stevens Rotary off to the left. And it's consistent with what Rotary wants. Symbolic, because they've moved in that direction again to simplify, speed up the recognition of something. And Brent is going to be putting together a letterhead that we can use for various communications. I would imagine both a printed one, but more importantly, a digital one that'll make life real easy. Okay, let's move on to officer report. I don't think we got Jack's here. Oh, there it is.
The proposed pay for athlete we're looking to do for this period, what that was. And that, we did, we decided to move money, 5,000 from our. In the flow, there now. Yeah. We had to pay our. District and international. And we didn't have enough money there. I had enough money to cover it. He literally one day after Monday, so, you guys,
And it's not just visual, we're waiting on some payments from members on the installation banquet too. So remember, you know, if there's a fee and we go through these things, please pay, because that ends up being an account receivable, doesn't it? And that becomes a headache for Jack to always deal with that. So good news is the money is there, it's just hasn't been paid. And hopefully we can put that back into the investment account at some point. All right, did we want to mention the Jack, the tip we ended up with on Aquafest?
This is the $1,015. I haven't had a piece spent with it yet, but I think it's. So we did pretty good, not quite as good as last year, but up there in terms of problem.
Yeah.
I mean, we ended up not saying quite as much. Last year, we sold all the pieces and half this year. People didn't. So, I think this year was going to lower attendance to the problem. This time we paid less for things. I think it's $35 per day. So yeah, we definitely got product as long as good last year, a little bit better.
Okay, thank you. Gary?
Following up on the conversation about our new logo and everything like that. We have now our own brand refers to as a flag store. Two of them. Some of us have already gone online and ordered a couple of items. The one flag store, you can go on and get a neat Rotary shirt, Rotarians, Lake Stephen Rotary in action, something like that. Get hats, get shirts. Probably go a little more expensive, you go to another store and you can order. When you order, he's going to order a 90 that will have the logo on it. It will also have button-down dress shirts for the guys. So there's and it'll have other things in it. But any member, once they become a member, once we get this out, I'll probably try and get it out this week. You can just go on the store and what you want, pay by credit card, and then it comes to it. We don't have to wait any longer. We don't have to do like Eileen had to do 3 or 4 or 5 years ago and go around and say, if you want this, you can do it all in one stop shopping. Well, 2 if you want to go on both. So that's that. Logo's already set. Logo's already set up. There will be no Rotary board meeting in September. And we are changing the day, or not the day, but we're going to the first week of Tuesday of the month from now on out, because we had conflicts on the 2nd, May, and 3rd. We had Eileen, and so we kind of worked it out, Ron and everybody, so I think we've got it all set. If you go on the website, you can see a picture of Josie and the fact that she went to her first Rotary meeting in Norway on Tuesday. And it's a picture of, it's just a picture of her with a little bit of the background of building, but then she's got pictures of their logo and in Norwegian and everything, so you can go on and take a look at that. Farmers market, hotter than hell. We gave out a ton of water. And so Rand read it, he got a little bowl, and we took care of all of the dogs that were going through
Oh,
market with the water. We had a lot of conversations again. Attendance, I think, was down quite a bit because of the heat, but we were able to take care of that. We had, Rand and I did the first shift. Johanna came on, and Steve, and was that Steve's? Yes, yeah, David, and helped out as well, so that turned out well. Bob, do you want to announce, remind everybody what's on?
Yeah, so
August 26th?
a week from Saturday, food party, that was really great center there, food streets, so I'm hungry. You know, food, alcohol, and it's the reason why I make a donation, for any other spiritual story to this, you know, my so this is not but all we talk about the festival is great, you don't have to do things. Yeah. The fires are there, the date and time starts at 6, and probably ends at 10.
That's the next minute.
Yeah, and it's right.
looking forward to it. It's a great party spot. One of the nicest patios you'll find, you know, it's got more view of the lake as far as degrees of any place that I've seen. Probably a 250-degree view. How's that from that? Yeah, it's a cool spot. It's the place in Lake Stevens, and it's a beautiful home too.
Yeah, we just had a big bottle. And so we did do it actually all the time. Be ready for it.
All right.
You want to talk about parking for 1 second?
Yeah.
Oh, I've had some houses with neighbors, so they can get there really late. I have another neighbor. We can find a lane for that community fires. So the parking lot.
So Bob, if we last year or the last time we went, I don't know if it was last year, but the neighbor that would be to your right when you're looking in your house, is that a good place just to go?
Yeah, so there's my space.
Yeah.
Probably like 20.
Yeah, he had a big front yard that he waves you in, you know, and all that. But yeah, it's immediately to the right as you look at that. That would be northeast. North downtown. Oh, the left, to the left of your house. Oh, okay. All right, I'm glad you did. Okay, at time, I am going to suggest that rather than asking all of the committees for reports, that you just speak up if you've got anything you need to say. Otherwise, we can get on with timing here. You know, all good is fine. Yeah, membership is all good, right?
No, there was a survey that we sent out, actually before we're on, it's not on, but there's a fire set survey sent out, we want to fill it out, we can try to figure out the fire set is going on for the year, but it's 6 responses, 1 person on the weekend. And 3 people that probably had it, the responses in the first, second, third. Joy that makes that, but if you go on, you get done, so we try to put the thing in the comments. That's all. Otherwise, all
right, and thanks for sending the Excel or the spreadsheet. Yeah, that was very handy. And yeah, those are all the decision makers in the club, so that was pretty cool. All right, actually, most of our club chairs aren't here, so that's okay. So let's go on.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. We have one of our guests we'll talk about it later. Winning number. President, please read the last numbers out loud. That's 3 numbers. 919. No.
Maybe it was 6 months.
It's not. Okay, so.
Yes, no. All right. You asked about guests earlier,
Yeah.
and Amy Lou has a guest, but he wasn't introduced. That's a fine.
All right, I'll accept that.
There you go.
He
All
doesn't
right.
seem like it. He's kind of one of the family.
Would you like to introduce your guest? All right, welcome.
Beautiful, Brian.
Give our speaker enough time.
I'm very happy we're still got started. I'm happy because I was able to give away my Zoom.
Alright, I'm happy, you want me to call leader start then? How many more weeks? 2.5 minutes. I just got to close my file and I painted.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's coming here. Yeah. You sir. Are you ready?
It's good to be seen. Just happy to all right. Mr. Lewandowski.
Beautiful Brian, that's happy to be here. Hanging out with you.
Yay, I'm happy because, this solidified, dumping 25 units of blood last week. The last, they went 5 people's lives, and we did it in 6 hours. So this feels like an amazing impact for those moments that are, leading in childbirth, but, cancer, folks hurt, and accidents. I mean, so.
I was gonna say, you got
And like,
To draw blood.
You still want to?
And we have a wonderful party for Rachel's staff. I'm glad it was small, it was fantastic. And we say that, forget that's Friday, further of. Appreciation. Slopes or something like that. So thank you for doing that. And possibly back over that. Appreciate all of you. Thank you guys. I'm glad that Lawrence Tesla was able to get him here. And is that little robot mowing your lawn, man? Probably.
You're not ready to fire me.
I'm happy it's a Friday and a long week, great week, but long. I just found out that my wife's doing in the arts and parks sport, which is really good. Super happy for her, and yeah, happy that it's my 1 year anniversary.
Anything happening this weekend, maybe outside?
But yeah, I don't know. You guys saw, but we started painting a huge mural on this wall. It's this entire length of the building. We did it last Saturday, 7 colors. We did 1 color in an entire day. So it's going to be a long time doing the mural, but it's a community mural. So the community's helping. Sunday starts at 10 a.m. If anyone wants to help paint a really cool art piece in this community, please come down and join us. 10 a.m. until probably 5 p.m. or so Monday.
And the next color is blue.
Well, that's important, so we know what color clothes to wear.
And all of you.
Hold on, you. Happy Friday. The last month was the first one in the food bank. I think you're last couple weeks, so I'll get that. The last month we served 5,700 people from 1,700 families, and gave out over 100. So it's been a huge increase, problem with visibility being on 50 road. But as always, thank you guys. I want to say like right around the time. Yeah. Yeah, a lot.
Hi.
My family, I'm all get like we don't pay. They're a lot. Even if they lost everything. We cannot replace, and I thank you for that.
Happy Friday, and we'll have to see your last. Sunday.
See them again?
Happy Friday, I have to take a peek for this morning, I went down now.
I don't spoke to anybody else.
I have to see their, but I had a.
And then so, we're starting to clear. Yeah.
So you gotta meet. This is your president. I know you're. I'm happy.
Okay, Tammy. Let's get you going here. We have a clicker. Yeah. Just that, I think it's two right there.
Right now.
Extra credit for those that apply the upper left. Where is that?
That is the California high. Great prize.
Extra bonus point for where the facility is on the road. Right.
They seem pretty important.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the opportunity to come and speak with you today. I know Eileen, we're Economic Alliance ambassadors as well, so thank you very much. And today I'm going to talk about sports tourism, who we are as an organization, and then about our Sports Hall of Fame banquet that we've been putting on since 2010. And I'm going to start with some sports tourism pieces. I think a lot of people, I'm not sure if they have a perception about tourism, but we really are an economic driver. We are integral in local and national economies across the United States. Travelers attend sports tournaments, races, other events. What they do is they stay in the hotels, they go to our retail shops, the restaurants. I'll use Lake Stevens Frontier Village. It's been a while since I've come here, and wow, what an opportunity, because it really opens up that there's an IHOP. And so those businesses, but there's also other places with Wendy's, and you can see what other businesses are here. People are going to come to that. Those businesses are part of the tourism industry, and all of the funding or people spend, it goes back into the city because they get the taxes from it. So with the sports tourism, we are an economic driver, and this information is from 2021 from the Sports Event Tourism Association. They did a study, and they do a study about every 2 years, and sports travel is $39.7 billion industry in the United States. The total economic impact is $91.8 billion. This is direct impact, indirect impact, and induced impact on the economic impact. Total jobs over 600,000 jobs nationally, and total tax revenues is $12.9 billion. So it is a big industry. And I will say the tourism industry includes hotels, it includes your restaurants, it includes your retail shops. It also includes gasoline, transportation, such as Safety, Hagen's, those individual, even Costco. So all of those businesses are part of the tourism industry, and then your entertainment as well is part of the tourism industry. A couple of numbers that we look at for our metrics. One is economic impact, and the other one is hotel revenue. And the reason we look at hotel revenue is that the Snohomish County Sports Commission, we are funded by the tourism promotion area, which is an assessment made by the hoteliers. So we're getting funding from the hotels in Snohomish County. And so hotel revenue is an important piece for them to show our return on investment. 2018, we were rocking and rolling. We had $30 million economic impact of business coming into the community. 2019, we're doing pretty well. As you can see, COVID pandemic. I think economic impact was just a little over 100,000 K, and it shut us down. We lost everything. I think the only thing that we were able to maintain in 2020 is in late November, October, was cornhole became very popular, and disc golf. So with Kayak Point Disc Golf Resort, they were able to host a couple of tournaments, and because it was an individual and people could space, those sports could play.
What do you attribute so the overall total revenue has far eclipsed previous years, but it hasn't yet had the influence the economic impact? Why do you think that might be?
Yeah, great question. One of the things that what we did late last year is that we got a standard with reporting economic impact, room nights, and hotel revenue. So previously, from 2018 to 2022, we were using an economic impact calculator direct spend. So all we were using was $140 per night for overnight travelers, $57 for local travelers, because we include both. What we've done, and others are doing, Visit Seattle, Linwood Convention Center, Event Center, Bellevue, Visit Bellevue. They're using a tourism economic calculator that is through the Destinations International. So it's a standard economic impact calculator that is used. And so this calculator, we put in the numbers of where people are staying, or 50 miles or more, which is out of town, and then the local people. It actually automatically generates the room nights for us. That's going to be total. It generates retail, restaurants, lodging. It calculates all of the direct spend for us. So it's we're going to see the balance here in a little bit with the changes. And I think the biggest one with the hotel revenue this year is Snohomish Bigfoot. They have over 300 teams over 4 days, 15,000 people in Snohomish and throughout the county. And I want to say it's like a $4.3 million economic impact. And that calculator said 5,000 remits. Is it true? We have to believe it because of the economic and the sales tax that they put in there. So our numbers fluctuate just a little bit, but the trend is that sports is coming back tremendously. And we work with a lot of our local clubs, as well as bringing national event organizers. Who are we? I think the last time I talked in 2016, the Snohomish County Sports Commission is a sports division of the Snohomish County Tourism Bureau. And since end of 2018, the Snohomish County Sports Commission, we are a standalone sports commission. We are no longer attached to the Snohomish County Tourism Bureau. So we are what we call ourselves a standalone sports commission. We're a 501c3 non-organization, but the best way to describe us is a sports destination marketing organization for sports tourism. So that's who we are, and we've gone through some changes through the COVID, as well as breaking away from the Tourism Bureau. Tourism has changed over the last in 2019 to 2020. For the regular tourism, Snohomish County has a staff, an executive's office that does the tourism, and they have hired a company called VDA Advertising Marketing Agency to do the leisure tourism that promote for people to come into Snohomish County. And so we're actually separate from them, but we're funded by the hotel motel TPA funding, but our goal is all sports related. Our vision statement: become a premier destination and region for the sports, enriching the community and increasing economic vitality through sports. And I've always been a believer. Sports and community go hand in hand. They're not separate. And that's just something that I truly believe in. I've believed in that for the last 18 years. I come from the restaurant industry. When I was in the restaurant industry, it was community forming. It was the PTAs, it was the Boeings, it was those businesses coming to my restaurant. And that's how I take what we do is that we're kind of that restaurant that go to shop for everybody in the community and help. So we recruit, retain, and facilitate sports events in Snohomish County. Like I said, we work with the local sports organizations. We've worked with Voodoo Racing, who now has sold their business to a local company. They're the ones that do the Lake Stevens Triathlon that's coming up. And I know, I think last year, the Rotary Club, you guys provided some volunteers. They're also looking for more volunteers for night. And so if you're able to do that, we can get you connected with a new event organizer. We attract visitors to Snohomish County, not just for one day, but for 5 days. And then our hope is that they'll come back at another time. Promote a positive image of the county through sports, really about quality of life, health and wellness, and an active lifestyle. Again, we provide the quality of life for opportunities for residents. That really kind of comes into play when we have an event at Angel of the Winds Arena, and it's a spectator sport. It's encouraging people to come and watch the sporting. Like last year, we had the street league skateboard, and they'll entice these kids to want a skateboard and be able to go out and recreate. Not always about competition, it's about getting people active and being out in the community. We also advocate for local sports facility development, and it can be anything. It can be from pickleball courts, the development at Caballero County Park. Had some conversations with the mayor with what can be there. It is a county park, but we have some knowledge from across the United States that we can help provide some guidance and advocacy. I know it recently was in the news with the Herald about Marysville having some property available for a sports facility, and I'll talk a little bit more about that and how we are involved. So just being able to provide that information for the cities. And then again, we work with local sports organizations. We work with Boys and Girls Club, YMCA. We also would Snohomish youth soccer, figure skating, and any club that wants to put on a tournament. We're here to help them that they can be beneficial. Here's some of the events that we had in 2022. Everett 3-on-3 basketball tournament. This year it was in the second year. We've had USA softball men's Western regionals. In 2022, Aquafest Classic, it was up at Lake Stevens High School in 2022, and I know it went back down to Caballero Mid-High in 2023. We've also, we will dabble into meetings and conferences. So in 2022, we had US Trail Running Conference, 100 race directors throughout the United States coming and having some meetings. And we had that at Rose Hill Community Center. And they were able to do some fun runs in the morning at Japanese Gulch and Big Gulch in Mukilteo. It's an opportunity for us to spread what we do. We also had American Cornhole League Pro Shootout, which was aired on ESPN. And that was at Angel of the Winds Arena. We also done the Cascade Cup Girls Lacrosse with the Snohomish Girls Lacrosse. We've helped them for many years. And then for many years as well, Lake Stevens Sprint Regatta, just with that club where we help them with hotels. And I've also volunteer out there as well. So anything that we can do to help them. And again, the Snohomish Bigfoot. 2023, just some events. Washington State Wrestling, the Freestyle Greco-Roman, the state championship. We had that out at the fairgrounds. So again, it's another for a community with their facilities. We've worked with the Harvey Cup Boys Lacrosse. They actually went to Cash Park. What an interesting weekend when you have baseball at the baseball or the softball fields at Cash Park and the soccer fields with lacrosse. There was literally no parking, and people were parking where they were not supposed to. But it was a great synergy to have two different sports playing at the same time. So we know the pain points so that we can fix those for next year. This year, we also had USA Archery Field Nationals up at Darrington Archers. What a great facility that Darrington Archers puts on. They also put on the National Field Archery Association Outdoor Nationals, and they had 400 archers this year, and the club is hosted about every 3 years this event. And my marketing specialist went up there, and there were pros from all over the United States that were competing up there. So it was actually really cool. And then Lake Tide Triathlon. We do a lot of Perfect Game Northwest baseball tournaments. Those are mostly at Everett Phil Johnson Ball Fields in Neverdale Athletic Complex. And then also new this year was the Washington Midsummer Renaissance Fair. And that is out in Monroe. I call it, it's Sky Meadow Farms. It's a property owned by Dave Remlinger. And because of the we're about relationship building, because I know Dave Remlinger, we work with him on the Spartan race. He referred the Washington Midsummer Renaissance Fair, that staff to us, and we were able to help them. We were able to help them with hotels, getting that information out. We're also getting them connected to volunteers and also connected to nonprofits, because they also give back into the community. And this event happened, it started August 5th, 6th, 12th, 13th. And it's also finishing up this weekend, and actually estimate 55,000 people over 3 weekends. It's a lot of people. This is a photo from this year. Rachel, again, my marketing specialist, was out there. It was crazy. There was a lot of people, and it was great, and it's just another opportunity for us to bring more people in. What's great about bringing people in is that people come in, and they spend the money and they get to go home, and it generates the revenues for us, and keeps our taxes down. I'm also a citizen on Snohomish County. So anything that we can do to keep our taxes down and bring more revenue into the cities and the counties is fantastic. I'm going to highlight Lake Stevens because I always feel that it's important for each community to showcase what we can do and what we're always looking for. Lake Stevens Sprint Regatta this last year. Lake Stevens Pickleball Classic went back to Caballero. We work with Pablo. Does a great job. I think he had 200 pickleball players, and he had a national anthem, some food trucks. We help him with some event services and trying to make sure that this event is a fantastic one. And what that does is it allows when he comes back next year is that he can build on it. So instead of having 200 players, he'll have 250 or 300. So it's making that memorable experience so that more people will come and play. Also, at the same time that we were in Pickleball Classic, there was a U.S. Australian Football League Western Regionals, Lake Stevens Community Park. First time ever that we've hosted this. And to give you a perspective on how long it takes to get an event, I started talking to U.S. Australian Football League in 2019, I believe. So it took us 4 years to get a Western Regionals. They would love to have a Nationals out here. It would have to be at soccer fields, but October time is kind of a wet time for them. So we're not quite sure. But there is Seattle Grizzlies in Seattle. They were the home team. And I know the Seattle Grizzlies in 2022 actually played at Lake Stevens Community Park, because they do a competition between Canadian team and Seattle Grizzlies during the May timeframe. So we're trying to work on that so that comes annual. And then again, the Lake Stevens Triathlon. I think this event's been going on since, I want to say 2007, 8. It used to be at Lake Ty, but when I first started, I was looking at how can I help local event organizers, and reached out to Voodoo Racing, and they said, well, we're outgrowing Flowing Lake. And I said, well, you got perfect Lake Stevens. And so ever since then, it's been at Lake Stevens. And with the development with North Cove Park, wow, that is just fantastic. Just really opens things up and very welcoming and a great location for the transition. 2024, couple of things that we have on the docket. Candyland Invitational is a gymnastics meet hosted by Northwest Aerials, and that's at Everett Community College. They're coming back for a second year. At Point Disc Golf Resort, they have multiple disc golf tournaments. Also work with Anthony because he put on a kayak open in July. He does a fantastic job putting on disc golf tournaments. He also does Twin Rivers as well. So we work with Anthony on the disc golf and how we help him and keep his event vibrant, as well as providing that experience so people come back. So thank you, Anthony, for what you do. Again, Harvey Cup, Ice Fest skating, the Mount Lake Terrace at the Olympic View, the Seattle Skating Club, they put on an annual event. New is the U.S. Softball Classic B Western Nationals. We're gonna have about 60 plus teams playing over 5 days in late July next year. And then also Perfect Game Northwest Baseball. They're a huge, that's also a local tournament director as well, even though it's a national name. Emerging sports, esports, e-gaming. I love this place. Chris, I think I need to talk to you because we are dabbling into e-gaming. Tomorrow I fly to Chicago to the Esports Trade Association, their annual conference, because we're trying to understand esports, because it's more than just gaming, it's more than just sports and tournaments. It's about STEM education and careers. It's amazing how many careers that you can do with computers, and it's not everybody wants to play the baseball, the softball, and the basketball. Let's get them to something else. It can be arts, it can be drama. Just get them active. Pickleball, disc golf, even tennis became popular, and then cornhole is still popular as well. Cornhole is a great social, a great fundraising tournament as well. Here's some potential. One of the things we been working on is USA Water Polo Open Water, and actually they're very interested in Lake Stevens at North Cove Park. Thought we could pull it off for this year, which would have been this weekend. Or no, next weekend, didn't work out. So we're still trying to talk to them. We talked to the National Beard and Mustache Championships. I've actually gone to this event and I've actually met this gentleman, and these guys are phenomenal. Yeah, the women. Yeah, the women, the creativity. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's they're a family and they will travel. Yeah.
And they. And take yours on over.
Yeah, it's great. We're working on bringing Skate America back with US figure skating. Again, it's on a timing. I will say the IIHF is the International Ice Hockey Federation World Juniors Championships. We have submitted a proposal with Visit Seattle, Seattle Sports Commission's Seattle Kraken, Climate Arena, Angel of the Winds Arena, and Everett Silvertips. This event is 10 countries, 2 weeks, 2 venues with the Angel of the Winds Arena and Climate Pledge in around the Christmas time of 2025 and 2026. So we are a finalist, and this is very exciting with the hockey, with the Silvertips and the Seattle Kraken. This event kind of showcases what we can do regionally and partnerships regionally with the organizations down in Seattle. And then just a couple other ones that we're working on with gymnastics, trampoline and tumbling, and then futsal, which is soccer in a basketball court. Sports facility development. Over the years, we have been part of sports facility development. Back in the day, Edale Athletic Complex received some funding from the Tourism Promotion Area Grant to help with their facility with field turfing, the softball fields, and then also the soccer fields that are there, so that now those can be played year round. I've been on the ad hoc committee with Caballero County Park, going through that master plan. And then also the other piece in 2018, we had the Tourism Promotion Area Board come to the Sports Commission and say, please conduct a facility and market analysis study. And we need to find out what are we missing? Indoor facility, outdoor facility, or a combination of both. And so we took that project on in 2018, and in 2019, they finished it up. And it came out that we're missing in an indoor sports facility, so nothing less than 100,000 square feet. There's really nothing in the Seattle region for that. There is down in Chehalis, Centralia. They have the hub, and Spokane now has the podium, and that Spokane's been rocking and rolling with a bunch of stuff for podium. They've got the World Badminton Competition, I think, coming up in a couple of weeks. It's an international event. And first time, and so there's a lot of opportunities with what Spokane is doing that we can do as well with an indoor sports facility. I'll quick go back on the sports facility. Last year, what we did, COVID slowed us down. We had this study, we were moving forward, and then the pandemic hit. So what we needed to do is redo to find out, one, are there organizations interested in us having an indoor sports facility so that we could do tournaments? We know the community can use it, and we know that there's a need for that. So we needed to find out if we could do tournaments and make sure it was viable. So we hired JLL Hospitality and Tourism Department, a national company, a consultant, to do a request for information. So they went out and talked to the organizations, see if there was a demand. And then we sent out information to find out if there was private developers. 4 private developers came forward, 2 national and 2 local. What we also did is look at, from the previous study, we had 8 locations that were viable. The Fairgrounds, Caballero, Everett had 2, and Marysville had 4. So there was a total of 8. So JLL went through to find out, 1, are those properties sellable? 2, would they work? 3, is there any other new property that's out there owned by, whether it's a private developer or city? They came forth and said, we're doing a new development in our downtown area, and we would love to learn more. And so it kind of really became a partner and with those conversations. So once our project was done, knowing that there is an interest and there's developers, we gave that information over to the city of Marysville. And Terry Bachelot, she was the lead with the city on this project. So she worked with, they talked to the developers. They are still working with a local developer they chose, and that local developers done their own study. And where we fit in is we gave them information. We gave them information about sports facilities, cost in the United States, what they look like, what are the costs, how many courts, what can you do, and then also economic impact to showcase what type of tournaments that we can host. And so that's kind of where the process is. And the Herald wanted to know where we were, and I said, well, it's really Marysville's project. So it is a concept of a $3 million project, and now it's figuring out about funding. I think that the local developer is very serious about it, and they have some investment. It's just trying to find the funding gap, like everything that we face with today. But exciting news for us. It's also a community because I know there's not enough space for everybody. I know there's schools, but it's a project too. And so how do the teams just kind of play and league play? So there's a lot of opportunities, which is exciting. Partners are huge for us. We cannot do what we do today without all of our partners. And those are the city and the county parks and recreation, local business, our local sports organizations, Economic Alliance in Snohomish County. I'm going to do a little plug. Because I'm an ambassador. I've become an ambassador to connect, not only for people to know who we are, because people don't know who the Sports Commission is, but also to be connected into the community and really show our support for Snohomish County and businesses. And Economic Alliance ambassadors are having an event on September 14th. Brews, Thomas Family Farm. It's an event that we put on as the ambassadors. It's a networking opportunity for businesses all over Snohomish County to come and network and have a good time. But the proceeds go to Girls on the Run of Snohomish County, and they are also a local partner that we got to know in how to help and even volunteer at their 5K run, because they are, I think, in 8 different school districts throughout the whole county. So we work with even the local chamber of commerces, the colleges, the school districts, private public facilities, hotels, and restaurants. Those are all our partners. We cannot do anything, even with the Rotary Club, with all your businesses, with who you work for, and you as a resident, we can't do it. But we can't do it without you guys. We're members of national associations, sports events and tourism association. We've been a member since 2005. Is our organization nationally as association to learn more about sports commissions and convention and visitor bureaus who have sports divisions and do the sports. New last year is the Esports Trade Association. I felt that if we wanted management organizations, which are we're kind of bucking the trend because we're a sports commission and we're listing ourselves as a DMO. About a sports commission being a DMO with this organization, but there's a lot of opportunities there for us to learn. It's one project that we run and manage. It's the only event that we manage. We have a wall mural. When you go to a hockey game, you're going to see the display case and the wall mural. Our banquet is coming up. This year we are inducting Gina Carbano from Lake Stephen High School, John Brockman, picture on the left, the guy on your guys' left with the gray suit, John Casebeer, coach. On top of that, he was a wrestling official as well. And I've got some flyers. I've got some invitation tickets are $100. A table for 10 is $900. The other thing is that we on high school athletes, Legion athletes, Herald Men and the Women in the Year in sports. Years ago, the Herald did that. It went away. And then over the years, we've done the collegiate and high school. So we're really kind of honoring the present and then the past as well. Evening, we also do display cases or the display of memorabilia and so it's really an opportunity, and I like to let people know about that. We know who the high school athletes are in the collegiate man and women of the year. They haven't announced it yet, but that'll come out shortly. And then I just have a video that Huge Production did back in 2020 for us for a brand video, and I'm really proud of this because 2020 we're in the middle of the pandemic in September of 2020, and these guys are phenomenal. They're out of Arlington and they're doing more videos for us. So just, and I know we have music, but you can't hear the music. Yeah. And I just say, thank you. I know I probably took a little longer than normal, and I do apologize. I'm passionate. I tend to think long.
Questions? Have you followed the impact? This two parts, number one, and then number two, since they seem to be destined to relocation, are you involved in that?
Yes, and I'm very aware, and the way I'm involved is the city has asked me, like, what can, if we build a new facility, what sports can happen there? So it's thinking outside the box of not just the baseball, but what if we had two fields? More on the sports tourism side. The city of Everett, they have a team that's working on location. So I don't know those details. The city does. I like to say Dan Ernestine is my contact, or Julio Cortez. They're the ones that with the city, but the reason for is because several years ago, Major League Baseball went from 160 minor leagues to 120 per se, and there are regulations that need to upgrade facilities if they want to maintain. And we don't have any concessions. We just have one concession, one bathroom. So it's really about renovation to get them up to standard. And Spokane Indian, their facility I think it's 50 years old. They're also in the same boat where they got to renovate to get it up here. I'm not sure where. I know that there was one out at near the airport, so downtown, but I've stayed out of that. I don't know. I've kind of been on the committee to hear about it, but I haven't heard anything lately.
Well, we talked about this, sports tourism, during Hockey Fest, there was a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, brought over 100.
Yep.
And there's tons of people came for one of the conferences and said, they know anything about wasting well here.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Yep.
We had a participant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Thank you.
Tammy, thank you very much. And in appreciation of our speakers, we make donations. So much appreciated.
You're welcome.
All right, with that, adjourned.
Thank you.